What is VID IQ SEO Score, long form videos? What the heck is all that?
Yes, there's a couple different.
There's a couple different programs that you can use. One, anytime you're doing anything with YouTube, the first thing you want to look at is obviously the content. So is the content good, but is your title? And so what this does, TubeBuddy, which is the one in the top right or whatever it is that we do, TubeBuddy, I like it the best. All the VID IQ and do it as well, but TubeBuddy tells me if it's good. And so what I'm searching for is if I type in the title, what's the search volume? My goal obviously is to get 100. So I type it in there and then I'm like, okay, are those keywords good to do it? And so if my search volume's good, everything's as well, I'm like, that's a good title for YouTube. So on YouTube with it. For the VID IQ one, which was back before, I don't know how to do that. Yeah. The VID IQ is if you're doing longer form content, you know, you can get VID IQ and it'll tell you how to raise your SEO score for the searches and everything with it. If it's good content, it'll help it. If it's bad content, it's still going to be bad content. It's not going to help it at all. So that's kind of something you want to do there with the tags. And it tells you whether they're ranked or whatever else. Your goal is to get it as high as possible. They're generally around 70 or 80 if they're really good.
And when you're doing this, guys, so we look at so many channels that people are not, they're spending all this time on these videos and they aren't doing any of this. And I'm blown away. And these are a lot of top members in here that are not doing this. Okay. So make sure that your channel is SEO driven. And you can use your competitors' names and you can, like, whoever your competitor is, you can actually tag their names in your information. Okay. So all the things, Barb does a good job on this, and Barb's done a great job on this, and she's figured this out. But make sure that you are tagging other competitors in your stuff. And so when they start to Google, you're going to start to show up on top.
This one right here, he's got YouTube Shorts. So if you guys notice, like, was it in the January, beginning of February? So you could always put your Google business profile as your location on your YouTube. Everybody, we talked about this a year and a half ago, like a long time ago. So we said that. So we said, if you're just doing a long form video, you could add a location to your YouTube. And we always said, well, if you're not putting a location, you might as well put your Google business profile on there to help it. Well, you can now do that with Shorts. And once we get to I just want you to remember this, because when we get to the slides ahead, I'm going to bring something up that we did with Craig and what we've discovered with it, but just remember that.
Okay. So I've got it. How many guys are doing that right now? What Mark just talked about, like, you're familiar with that. Let me just see a poll in the room on that. Okay. All right, good. Yeah. And that's kind of why we're doing the session. Like, people like do videos, but sort of exhausting, right? Bill, going in there, filming these videos, doing all that stuff, and you're getting them out there. They're on YouTube. You're using them, but it seems like something's missing at times. You ever notice that? I think you're starting to see some.
Well, I think it's all the details of this, right?
Yeah.
There's, as we get into this more, I mean, we're all learning so much all the time. The important thing is to start doing something, right? The important thing is to start doing videos and learning this and getting better by trial and error and leaning into this.
And be consistent.
And be consistent. And you need to block time out. This is something that all of us do. All of us see creating content as a rainmaker activity, and it is booked as a priority into our week. Like, I know where I'm going to be Tuesday at 11 a.m. I know where I'm going to be Wednesday at 11 a.m. I know ahead of time who I'm interviewing. I know what the topics are. I know what's going to happen Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday afternoon. Okay. I know that this video is going to be chopped up, diced, repurposed. We have a strategy for this, but we're learning all the time how to get better, how to get better, how to get better. And some of you are really good at this, but I think this is something that if we collectively put our brain power into this, we'll be unstoppable.
Yeah. If you're like Craig, you know, if you're doing either a podcast or a radio show or whatever it is, you want to chop it to be like 3 and 5 minutes, a few of them. And then you want a bunch of reels. You can do 10, 15 reels, but you got to make sure the points are so strong in that 30 seconds that reel is going to be made. So think about it when you're actually creating the radio show. because, or when you're creating that, when you're going on the radio, I need to make sure that it's a really good point where they can take that. And you guys will see it. You'll see it in your views. You'll see it in your reach. You'll see it in your SEO. And then, that's when also, we talk a lot with Chuck, and he's taking that and that he's making your website. I mean, the SEO, he talks about in these videos is what drives that SEO.
Yep, for sure. Now, what are we looking at right here, Mark?
So you guys, everybody checks their analytics, I assume, on their YouTube channel. So
Oh yeah, these guys are looking at it almost every day, right, guys?
So what we did is, this is Craig's just on his shorts. So he does paid ads on YouTube. He interviews all you guys on there, and he helps boost that and whatever else. And then he does his lives that are streamed live. And then plus we repurpose them on there, but these are only his shorts. So we took 30 days here, 47 shorts, which is 10 a week, basic for practical purposes, 22,000 views, pretty good. So I said, well, what happens if we increase that? What if we go to 3 times a day, 7 days a week? And what happens? So the next slide is, so we did 120 shorts, little less than whatever, but you can see the total number of views is almost 70,000 views. It's 68,900 views to do them with that to it. So by just simply almost doubling, so going a little bit more than double, we've more than 3/4 times there increased the views.